So turns out the first time I did this lab, I misplaced my citric acid and my salt, which explains why I got a lot of the funky results that I got that time. So I'm going to be trying it again. I think I'll definitely include pictures in my lab report of the first attempt, just because it does really say how important it is for citric acid to be in the milk while it's setting, to like help form the curds and stuff. But yeah, we'll be giving it a try again, and the salt will be staying over there for now. Okay, so to give myself some peace of mind, I'm going to measure this out on camera. I have a little bowl here just in case there's any spill, which there already has been. So we've got 1 teaspoon here, and we're looking for about a ½ teaspoon, which is also overboard. Alrighty, so that is in there. So I know I won't make the same mistake twice. Okay, so I just poured in, I run it into here, and it's definitely looking a little milky yet again. This is the one thing I know I did right. So just mixing that up, just in my measuring cup because it's easier with fewer dishes. So yeah, so then next I'll be back with the milk. Alrighty, now that the milk is in my big pot, I've got my citric acid water mix, and I'm pouring that in. And I'm gonna give that a good stir, and I'm gonna turn on my stovetop. So just making sure that that's really mixed in, and then I'm gonna go get my Run It handy for when I have to work that in. Okay, so my milk is now heated at 90 degrees. So I've just moved it off, and I'm pouring in my Run It. And now I'm gonna count to 30 very slowly. Okay, so now that that is all stirred in, I'm covering my pot, and I'm gonna let it sit for 5 minutes while I start to do some of my dishes. Okay, so I just cut the curds with my knife and added them back to the heat. Yet again, they're not really finding like the silky, like they still look kind of shredded the way they did last time. So I'm not sure if there's just something wrong with my technique or what, but it definitely looked different. So at least hopefully the taste is a little bit better than my last one. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, so the curds have definitely heated to 105. I'm seeing a lot better separation than I saw last time, so that is a very good sign, I hope. So yeah, I'm just gonna stir it again for 5 minutes until I ladle the curds into my microwave safe bowl. Okay, so now that that's all done, I am microwaving the cheese with like the whey drained out until it reaches 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Currently it's at about 110. So I put it in for 20 seconds and we'll see where. Okay, so yet again, the mozzarella did not get that glossy like sheen to it that the directions said it would. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing wrong with it, but it definitely looks better than it did last time. So here is my large mozzarella ball, and I'm just gonna continue shaping. Okay, so I finished shaping the mozzarella balls, and I added a teaspoon of salt to the whey and just drizzled that on over the mozzarella. So I'm gonna let that cool for a little bit, and I'll be back for the final photos and the taste test. Okay, so I just taste tested my mozzarella And definitely, I think it has a little bit of stretch. I have the questions in front of me. For something that I think went really well, I think I definitely learned from my mistakes, which is a good sign. But I do wish that I don't know what it was, but I wish that I had been able to make it more glossy yet again. It just didn't really, it stayed very like cottage cheese-like. So not sure what's going wrong there. The curds in the whey are like, the whey is like the liquid component, and the curds are like the protein bonded together from the acid and the rennet. So that's what becomes like the actual cheese, and then the whey is like the liquid. And then as for adding the acid is really what helps to form the curds in the first place, which I learned firsthand. Definitely need the citric acid in the recipe. But overall, even though both of them weren't the most successful, I had a lot of fun, and I was really glad to see some improvement. And yeah, thanks for following along.